someone going to ask me questions?
Yes, Coach. Right now, we'll go ahead and start with our first question from, actually, Coach, we'd like you to make an opening statement, and then we'll go to questions.
I'll just take the questions. That's fine. Unless I have to make an opening statement, I can. So I tell you what, we wanted a chance to play in this tournament. We got the chance. And first credit to Ohio for how they played, well coached, and they played tough, and they made some big plays down the stretch. But our guys were again hopeful that we get this opportunity. The NCAA allowed us to come in and in a unique way. But thankful for it. But it just stings right now to not advance in this tournament. It's such a special tournament, and again, you know how that goes. It's the last game of the year is always tough, and I know our guys are feeling it right now. We had some chances. I'm sure I'll get asked that question. Don't know if we got tired down the stretch or felt a little bit of the pressure, but I thought we got some good looks and just had a pretty poor shooting day, a very poor shooting day from three with some quality shots. But again, they did a solid job defensively.
First question is from Jeff White from VirginiaSports.com.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Can you hear me, Tony?
Yeah, I got you now, Jeff.
Hello?
Yep, I can hear you, Jeff.
Okay, I'm sorry. Your guys were up 7 with 14 minutes to go, and the game kind of swung from that point. What was the difference in the final stretch?
Yeah, I think we had some good stretches of defense in there. We were deflecting balls, making it hard on them, and I thought early in the game, Jeff, we were settling a little bit. We were shooting a little quick, and then I thought in the second half we ran pretty good offense and got the kind of looks, the rhythm open looks or some in the lane, the shots we wanted, and we really had trouble capitalizing on them. That I'd take probably, again, the quality of the looks. And I think going cold in that setting hurt. And when we did need a key stop, they got a nice back door and a slip, and that hurt us. But the guys played as hard as they could, and they fought. But I think that ability to it comes down to whether it's banging a big shot here or there or getting our rhythm, and we looked just didn't look like we had, as far as from a shooting standpoint, didn't knock down the shots that I've seen us make. And again, they did a good job and guarding us, but they were quality looks from my standpoint.
Next question is from Bennett Conlon of the Daily Progress.
Coach, I wanted to ask, after all your team had been through in the last week with the COVID protocol, quarantine and things like that, what do you tell the team in the locker room after the loss and just everything you've been through the last 10 days or so?
Yeah, just as I'm kind of how I started with my statement, I said we wanted an opportunity, and we were grateful to the NCAA for giving us that. And we met all the protocols. I know more about protocols than I care to be honest. But we weren't sure after our Syracuse game if we were even going to get a chance to play in the tournament, and we were allowed that opportunity. And we came in, and we thought we had a chance. We certainly did it. I don't know if it would have mattered if it was a normal prep or not. How can you say? Because we played a good team, and that's this tournament. But it was. I just thanked, the old guys that put as much as they could into this program, and I said you'll remember your ACC regular season championship. That's a big deal. And you also remember, getting beat in this tournament, but nothing to hang your head about. It's just, you come into these games, and that's what makes this the survive and advance mentality, or lose or go home, and that's the reality of this. And I've faced such joy in this tournament on so many occasions, and I've faced the heartache too. And you have to be, again, as I always say, willing to accept them both. And know that when your career's done, this doesn't define you, whether you win it all or you lose or anything. It's what you do. You do it with love and joy and passion, and then you don't let it define you beyond what it should.
Next question is from Mike Barber.
Hey, Tony. Defensively in the first half, particularly, you guys seemed really locked in. Did you feel like more than ever you were probably going to have to ride that defense because of the offensive rust? And then talk a little bit about Vanderplas and what he was able to do in the second half.
Yep. No, I thought we were sharp defensively, and for the limited prep and all that stuff. I thought, again, it's what we tried to do all year, and just I'm glad it was there, and I thought we fought, and even good stretches in the second half, real good stretches defensively. And it would come down to that. But you're gonna have to make certainly some plays offensively. And but I sensed the looks were there, and you could just see we couldn't get them to drop. And it did put a lot of pressure on our defense. That's the only thing that stung. A couple of those breakdowns at key times defensively that otherwise I think ruined a pretty solid defensive effort. But again, credit to them. And then Ben Vanderplas, he did what his old man would do when I played with him, make key plays, and he's really good. He hit those big threes end of the half. That was a big three, and then the 2 threes he hit in a couple drives. He's just skilled and sound, and he knows how to play the game. So, again, happy for him and hurting for our guys.
Next question is from Preston Willett, CBS 19.
Tony, you talked about looking at those seniors after y'all found out about the COVID case, and what was it like looking at them tonight after all the work they put in this year and after this crazy week that y'all have had?
Well, like any, you thank them, and there'll be probably better times to speak clearer to them about what they meant and who they are as men and as players. After the game, not a lot is heard, and it's just trying to encourage them and thank them. And tell them that they'll always be a part of this. And, again, they'll have a ACC regular season championship, and they got a chance to play in the tournament, and that'll sting how it ended. But that was the extent of it. I didn't have any. I said I wish I had some magic words to make the sting go away, but I don't. But time heals all things.
Carter Hill, fifth quarter.
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on a great season. Just now that it's all wrapped up, though, how do you overall reflect on this past year, and what will you take out of it heading into next season?
Hard to kind of evaluate the whole year. It was a windy road, unique, the way it started. And obviously this last, 9 days or 8 days was as strange and unique as you'd find heading into this. But again, at the start of the season, we didn't even know if we'd get to play that many games, didn't know what would happen with the NCAA tournament. And, it was just I'm glad we're having the NCAA tournament, but it was a strange year, unlike any, and I hope it never happens again, because there's such an experience when the fans are there and the excitement of it. And that won't take anything away from the teams, of course, that are advancing, but one for the ages for sure. And I'm sure I'll reflect and have some better insights on it. But it was a lot. You come in, and most teams came in I think June or July, and none of the guys got to go home. So I think it was just hanging in there and enduring and growing and enjoying times together and kind of suffering through the rough stuff.
Thank you.
Next question, David Teal.
Tony, you just mentioned what a strange season it has been. Were you made aware before your game of VCU's situation, and was that a stark reminder of how tenuous this all was?
VCU. They had no, man. I didn't. I boxed to somebody. So VCU couldn't play their game against Oregon.
Correct.
What is it with us Virginia schools? Man, I'm sorry to hear that for those young men. I didn't know that. No, yeah, I guess you're right. That is.
Next question comes from Billy Witz.
Tony, hi. Can you just, I guess, explain what you weren't able to do this week as far as preparation, and just, I guess, the context for not being able to do those things at this time of year?
Look, that's done. We had a chance, and we wanted that, and we got to do some individual stuff, and then had we had a normal team practice on Friday morning before we left. But that we prepared to the best of our abilities, and again, Ohio played a better game. When they needed to make plays, they made the plays, and we left some on the table. And so, again, I'm grateful we got the chance. And, you can't go back and change anything. And I thought our guys were as ready as they can given the circumstances, and it would have been a heck of a win, and it's a hard loss.
Do you just like, for example, like film, is it just something where everybody has to look
Yeah, we
at
probably
stuff?
watched a lot of film on Zoom and prepared well that way.
Thank you.
Yep.
Coach, that's all the time we have. Thank you very much. We'll be joined shortly by Sam Hauser. I want to reiterate that because the large number of people on this call, we're only going to be able to take one question and no follow-ups really at this time if we continue to get the large number of raised hands. So continue to raise your hand. We'll call on those who are in the priority, and we'll just keep going from there. But soon we'll have Sam. Okay, we're now joined by Sam, and our first question will go to Mike Barber.
Hey, Sam, obviously a tough one. What was it that kind of faded in the second half for you guys defensively, and what let Vanderplas kind of get going there?
Yeah, they had a lot of good action on offense. It was tough to guard, and he broke loose a couple times and hit a couple big ones to get his momentum going in the right direction, and he made a lot of big plays at the right time. So hats off to him, and hats off to Ohio.
Next question comes from Hank Kurz, AP.
Hey, Sam. I don't know if any of you seniors will come back, but from what you know about this team, how do you expect they will respond to this?
They're going to respond for sure. Taking a loss like this is tough. Ending your year like this is tough. So I know the guys who will come back are going to take this personally, and I think they're going to get even better from it. So I'm not too worried about that for our guys coming back next year.
Next question from Jeffrey White.
Hey, Sam, this season has had a little bit of everything, and it's been a real roller coaster ride. How do you think you'll look back on this year?
I'm definitely going to remember it. It was everything was different. It wasn't a normal college basketball year, but overall, I was just happy to be able to play a pretty good number of our games. And obviously, this last week has been hectic, but we were just happy we were able to have a chance to play in the tournament, and that's where you want to be able to end your season is in the tournament. And overall, it was a good year. We ended up ACC champs, so you can't take that away from us for sure. And definitely happy I chose to come here.
Mike Barber.
Yeah, Sam, I'm curious. Defensively, you guys seem really locked in the first half. How focused were you on maybe there would be some offensive rust, but defense was going to carry you through tonight?
Yeah, I think that we've been trying to make that our mentality. Defense travels no matter what, even if your offense isn't there. And I thought we played a pretty solid defensive game up until, the last couple minutes where we had a couple big breakdowns and they got a couple of layups at the rim. But other than that, I thought we played hard on defense. They made some tough shots, and they made crucial plays at the right time.
Preston Willett.
Yeah, Sam, what have the emotions just been like this past week, going back to the positive case and then just kind of fighting and being resilient coming up to this point and not ending the way you wanted it to, but just to get here?
Yeah, it was with this year, there's a lot of uncertainty, and you never know when a thing like that could happen, and it happened at the last possible day it could have happened in order for us to play. So we're thankful it didn't happen a day later, but, it's just one of those things. It's unpredictable. You just kind of have to just roll with it and do what you can when you're not around your team as much. But, it was interesting week for sure, but we were able to watch a lot of film and have one practice at least. But so we felt like we were confident coming into this game.
Brian Smith, WVEC.
Hey, Sam. Just obviously tough loss, but what do you take away from this season as a team? Just what you've done, even though it was one and done. But what do you take away from a year like this?
I think it showed a lot of discipline out of our guys and a lot of resiliency throughout the whole year. We had a couple times where we had a little COVID pause. We missed a couple games. We've had our opponents have COVID pauses, which caused us not to be able to play them. And everything was so uncertain. You never know what the next day was going to bring, and that's hard to deal with for however long we've been in. I think we've been on campus since July, so just dealing with that, and I think being able to just be around each other and get to know each other better was huge for us, and we definitely got to know each other to a deeper level than I don't think we would have in normal circumstances. So I think that's definitely a positive, and the basketball piece is, I think overall everyone was just happy to be able to play and have a season because last year got cut short.
Next question from David Teal.
Sam, you mentioned what a strange year it's been and only having had one practice. You guys are the ACC's number 2 3-point shooting team, and so many shots seem short tonight. I know you don't want to make excuses, but were there some tired legs out there tonight?
It was just one of those things where, the shots just weren't falling. I don't think it was tired legs at all. I just think it's one of those games where it happens, and it happens to everyone. And that's why your defense has got to be real good. And I thought our defense was pretty good up until, they made that run in the second half. And but you can't make an excuse for not being able to make shots. You got to find other ways to score. And tonight we just left some baskets out there that we should have made.
Bennett Conlon.
Sam, going back to Ben Vanderplas, I wanted to ask what makes him such a tough guy to cover. It seemed like he was able to score in the second half, even when you guys had pretty good defense on him.
Yeah, he's a great player, man. He's crafty. He's deceiving. He's got a really good shot fake. And obviously you saw he has really deep range, and he made a couple of bombs tonight. And hats off to him, man. He's good. He's so sound. He's so fundamentally sound. And he's a good player. And he helps. He's kind of like a glue guy to that team. Without him, I don't know what they'd be like. So happy he played well. He's a Wisconsin guy. I know him, so happy for him and happy for the team.
Okay, I still have hand raised from Mike Barber.
Yeah, Sam, thanks for doing one more. Jay Huff getting in the foul trouble. How did that guys impact you?
That happens, and that's the next man up mentality. And I thought we had good minutes from guys off the bench to fill in when he was off the floor. I thought guys came in, brought energy, played good defense, and rebounded. And when Jay was in there, he was good. So I think it's just one of those things where that's why you always have guys off the bench that are ready to go. And I think overall they were good tonight.
Thank you.
Last question, I believe, from Hank Kurz. Okay, Sam, if we have nothing else, we wish you the best.